We finally find out everything we need to know about Lilia, as well as many more big reveals in what is so far the best episode of Agatha all along. Welcome to Haynes for Heroes, I'm Alex Haynes, and if it's a movie or TV show about superheroes, you know I'm all over it. And I'm all over this insane episode revolving around Lilia, so let's break it down and predict what will happen in next week's 2-episode season finale. Spoilers ahead. So the episode starts off with Lilia and Jen walking underneath the witch's road, and if you were confused like me, you probably also went back to the beginning thinking you missed something. I was like, wait, why aren't they explaining what just happened? We thought they died. It's only a bit later when it's revealed that Lilia's consciousness is constantly switching between points throughout her centuries-old life. So she's kind of like Dr. Manhattan in a way, where she can see past, present, and future at once. Lilia explains that she's always been trying to hold these visions down, but it's been getting worse because she believes she's getting closer to her death. So because of that, this episode is jumping through different points of the story, like all out of order, and it's so awesome. Like, do you understand how difficult it must be to write a story in a way where a concept like that even works? But they did it! But also through this, we're brought back to previous episodes where Lilia was having all those random outbursts. You remember those. For example, Jen is making a comment about Lilia being kooky, and then immediately we're brought back to episode 4 where Lilia shouts at Alice, well, what am I? Am I wispy or am I kooky? Lilia's consciousness was brought back to before Alice was killed, and now seeing Alice there, Lilia tries to warn her about her upcoming death. She starts off by yelling, Alice, Alice, don't! Before she's suddenly back in episode 3 where Lilia is yelling at Agatha, try to save Agatha. Now let's put the puzzle together. Alice, Alice, don't try to save Agatha. Boo! That was so cool. There's a few more like that, but you get the gist. So while Lilia is traveling through time in a way, her and Jen find their way to the next trial where they meet up with Billy and Agatha. The trial is a tarot card reading, which is right up Lilia's alley, and at first it's believed that this trial is about Billy, but it turns out it is Lilia's trial. She is the Queen of Cups, the Traveler. You know, because in a way, she's traveling through time. It's at this point, as she's being guided by her grandmother mentor from back when she was a child, is where Lilia starts to accept her visions as they are instead of trying to hold them down. And with each placement of a tarot card, she's able to piece more and more of the visions together. First card that Lilia draws is the Three of Pentacles, which represents community, and this is something that Lilia has been missing her entire life. Lilia next draws the Knight of Wands, which represents the path behind and wounds suffered. This refers to Alice, who gave her life in order to protect the Coven, and the toll that it took on all of them. Then we have the High Priestess, who represents the path ahead. This seems to focus on Jen, who Lilia predicts will become very powerful once she becomes unbound, which is totally believable because Jennifer Kale is a major magical character in the Marvel comics, so hopefully that's a sign that she survives this series. Next we have Three of Swords, which represents the obstacles on our journey, but it also represents heartbreak, grief, and sorrow, something that everyone in the Coven has in common. Then we have the Tower Reversed, which represents destruction, disaster, and sudden upheaval, but when the card is turned upside down, it can represent miraculous transformation. This refers to Billy, who went from being William to Billy Maximoff. But as time is running out on the trial, Lilia draws the final card, the one thing that she's been running away from for so long. Before the card is revealed, we get an awesome cut back to when Lilia and Jen first fell off the witch's road, and Lilia witnesses the true identity of Rio, Lady Death. And she looks so freaking awesome. I love the combination of like human and skeletal features on the face. It's beautiful. The final card is Death, and this basically confirms not only that Lilia is about to die, oh no, but it also seems to set up Rio, or more accurately Lady Death, to be the main antagonist of this series, which, that's so cool. But how are they even gonna fight her? She's Death. And this leads to one of the most saddest and also most hardcore moments in this entire series, where Lilia sacrifices herself to kill the Salem 7. I loved how Lilia flipped the Tower Reverse card and it caused the whole room to go upside down, and just the Salem 7 just getting totally impaled, which honestly I didn't think would kill them because they are obviously very like you know, all like that, so I felt like they would survive being stabbed with swords, but I also like that Lilia was the one that took him down. Like, she earned that dub. But I think it's better this way anyway, because then that allows Lady Death to be the true antagonist of this series. Because I feel like every character in this series was living a life revolved around actively avoiding death, especially Agatha, so it makes sense that Lady Death would be the final battle of this series. But once again, how are they actually going to be able to fight death? It's not like you can just run up and punch her in the face. But next week is the final 2 episodes of Agatha All Along, so we're gonna get all the answers we need then. But what did you think of episode 7 of Agatha All Along? Let me know down in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more, cast the spell on the like button and then click on the boxes right here, and I'll see you in a bit.